I did it. I filmed the video.
How'd it feel?
It felt good. I finally did it. I only cried once.
That's amazing.
I know.
Proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. Love ya.
Love you.
Oh yeah. You can do it. You know when you like hype something up so much that you're just like, I need this to be perfect. This subject means so much to me. Like so much to me. Whew. This video is very important to me. This is my journey, my skin journey, especially my acne journey. What I figured out to get from here to here, I had a very extreme hormonal imbalance. I have come such a long way, and I am so grateful that I am in this moment now, because when you are in the moment of really struggling and you have red dots all over your face that are so painful, you don't really see the light a lot of the times. You have your good days and you have your really desperate, really bad days. There is hope, and it's really just figuring out what the root cause is. I think that's the biggest thing I would share with anyone. The biggest lesson that I learned in all of this is to not band-aid the things that my body is trying to tell me. That is a huge lesson I've learned, which now I'm taking into all aspects of my life, which is great. So my journey is actually very interesting. How this all started, I guess in high school, I would have like one zit here and there. So I definitely did not go through an acne phase in high school. My brother actually did, and he was on Accutane in high school, but I just would have like one zit here and there. And then even when I, started to return to my young 20s, or like I guess my older teens, I still didn't really have anything crazy, but I wouldn't say I took care of my skin, that like the texture and look of it was amazing. I wasn't like eating incredible. I definitely wasn't focused on that. I was really focused on my workouts, but wasn't really focused on the eating. So it started really after I started dating JT. And what happened was I went through a very stressful situation pre-JT. It just led into like the stress and a lot into my new relationship, which came out through my skin. So I started getting acne in 2018. It was actually kind of everywhere. It was like on my cheeks up here. It was down here, and it even was like some on my forehead, but it was more like a lot of little dots. It wasn't as cystic in the beginning. And to be honest, you guys, I don't have a lot of photos from then because it's kind of sad. During this time, I think I didn't take a lot of photos because it was so painful for me, and like in the sense of like looking at myself. This was, obviously quite some time ago, where I don't think my self-esteem was all there, and I just was not feeling great about putting a phone to my face. But crazy enough is 2018 is also the time I decided to start doing Instagram. So I decided to start posting my workouts, but I would say I used filters and was definitely not showing my bare skin. So I kind of could cover it up and be like nonchalant about the texture of my skin. So when I started seeing like acne obviously happen, my first thought was not to go within, it was to go without. And that was to find any facialist that looked bomb on Instagram. And that's when all of the skin product purchases were happening, as well as I feel like a lot of people obviously endeavor on. So I was doing chemical peels, I was doing all different type of lasering, all these different types of things that everyone was sharing with me that would work, which again, I'm not in this video, I am not saying that can't work. I think there's different levels of acne, and you have to figure out if you do have bigger root cause, which usually there is, but I do think these chemical peels and other things can work for some people. Again, I'm just truly sharing my experience and my journey. So the chemical peels, first off, I did not love them. I felt like for 10 days my skin was just like coming off, and when it came off, I truly did not see a dramatic difference. I don't think I was helping because I was like hating on my skin the whole time, that I don't think I was helping the chemical peel process. And then a huge focus was food for me. So when I did kind of be like, okay, maybe I also need to stop eating so many greasy foods. Like when I was like young, again in 2018, I was, going out to eat more and not really caring about what was in the food. And even though I haven't ate dairy since I was younger, I would definitely still have pizza and ice cream more occasionally than I should have, even though it didn't sit well with my body. It was kind of like, I just want to do it because I want to have fun with everyone else. I tried to cut out a lot of those things, and that's what helped a lot with my upper cheek area and kind of the dots texture that I saw. So there was help with the food when I started doing that, and then drinking lots of water obviously was a huge thing. I can't tell you that there was a skincare product ever that really worked for me in the beginning. I would see it work for like a second and then it would just come back. So there's nothing I would recommend in the beginning that I was doing that I really did enjoy. I never did go into the proactive, all of that stage, but yeah, I tried many things that dermatologists recommended. So I strictly before was just seeing a general doctor. So like someone that you just like go get checkups with, or I would see like a general dermatologist. So I would go see these doctors, and again, they would give me pretty much anything topical, anything that I could put on my face that would make me just so uncomfortable and dry and irritated. Not a fun journey whatsoever, but obviously I was trying to see if it worked. And again, it would maybe work, but it would just come back. I think the biggest thing, and I'll step into this like later as well, but I think the biggest thing that I see now with doctors, and I feel like I try and express to you guys that I wish I knew then, was first off, finding a doctor that gives you the time of day. And again, this isn't all doctors, this is just my experiences, but it was very like in and out. It wasn't asking me anything about my day-to-day stress. It wasn't asking me anything about my internal health issues, not asking me about my mental health, was not asking me about my active health, was not asking me about really anything, to be honest, that I remember. It was mostly just seeing my acne, and they would look at it and then they would just hand me a prescription. And of course that was satisfying to me in the moment because I just wanted that prescription to just go rub on my face. But now I'm looking at it and that was not going, or that didn't help me. So if you guys are looking for a doctor, which I'm going to recommend some people in this video, for me now where I'm at, I would look for someone that has more of a holistic or naturopath approach, just because I think in my experience going through them, they have more of a natural healing way. And also I've just met with a lot of different doctors that give you the time of day. They like really, really care. And I think that's so important and very rare, but it's so important. Like you deserve that information, you deserve that time, you deserve to understand. Everybody is different, so they need to know who you are, how you work. So I think that's super important to find someone who will give you that time of day. I need a drink after that. Accutane. So I was pretty much at like a desperate place by this time. Pretty desperate place. And I actually ran into one of my guy friends, and he was like introducing me to his girlfriend, and this girl had flawless looking skin. I mean, she looked like just insane. And she started expressing to me that she just got off Accutane. And when someone's like looking at you with perfect skin and you're looking at them with like just a lot, and it's not even just a lot on the face, it's so much emotions inside. I think I literally left her that night and then called the next morning. So I found a dermatologist that would prescribe me Accutane. Also should mention during this time, before I started my journey of doing Instagram and like social media, I was modeling and in commercials, and I was losing jobs left and right. I think that's what also helped me step into the Instagram space, because I wanted to be like, okay, I need to kind of create my own career a little bit, because I just saw a lot of it dying off, which is a blessing now. But yeah, that was very hard to deal with, of not getting calls, or even being on set and they're doing my makeup and they're like having to talk about how to cover up my spots, or okay, like we'll need to Photoshop that. Like hearing the conversations is just like, It's just really hard. I definitely went and was like, okay, let's do the Accutane, but she decided to put me on for 9 months just because we wanted it to be a slower journey since I was shooting still and being in front of a camera. She didn't want my skin being so dry. So I went on Accutane and it was great. Like, I truly don't have anything bad to say about it except that I was so dry. It was insane. I feel like it was probably very detrimental on my body now that I look back at it. But in the moment, I was like, this is amazing. I mean, my skin probably cleared up, and I can show you guys here as well, in 2 months. It was like night and day. You'd think like, okay, great, this is the end of the video. Accutane worked for her. But here is what happened. So after 9 months of being on Accutane, which is a long 9 months, and you have to get your blood work checked every month. I'm not even gonna go into that journey, but it is a freaking journey, you guys. And a lot of people have different side effects, but I'm blessed that I didn't have anything crazy. After my Accutane journey, I was clear. And I remember I was thriving, it felt so good. And then all of a sudden, here comes these these dots on my face. And it was more like one zit here, one zit here, one zit here. So nothing crazy. It wasn't like all the little ones I had before, but I definitely was like, oh no, there's getting a couple here and there. This can't be good. So I was talking to a girlfriend, I think, and she was sharing about how this certain facialist on Instagram, you think I would learn by now, and that she went to her and she cleared her melasma, I think it's called. And I went and looked at the page, and the girl did have tremendous before and afters of her skin. So again, it could totally have worked, but because my root cause wasn't getting a facial, I shouldn't have gone to this girl. So she let me know that I need to go on a product called DMK, I think it was called. I might be saying it wrong. And she told me I was gonna purge. You guys, I purged. I purged. I don't, again, there might be people that have done this journey and they purged and then it cleared. I remember the moment where she texted me. I like should find the video and watch it back because it's pretty painful, but she texted me and said, hey, I don't know what's wrong. This should be working by now. So this is one of those mornings that I think is harder than others just because I'm tired. I'm tired of my face, like just being so irritated. It like honestly hurts. I'm just kind of tired of people telling me that they have the solution. It can get really frustrating, and you can put a lot of hope in other people. Because it wasn't the root cause, it wasn't what was gonna save my skin. Because no one asked me, have you gotten your blood work done? Have you gotten a food allergy test? Have you done these steps before we try this? I personally feel like that would have saved me so much heartache and so much time and so much money and all the above, but we're here now. Well, now we can talk about kind of a little bit more of exciting things. I guess exciting in the way of like what has cured my acne then. Seeing this photo, you guys can see my skin has gotten tremendously better, and it still is just on such a beautiful journey, and I'm so freaking grateful. So I think I saw a video, like I mentioned earlier, on YouTube. I think I saw Sarah's Day. I think I saw a girl named Kate. I want to look back on who said that, all talking about hormonal imbalances. And remember, I watched that video previously, but it didn't click for me. And so then I decided to go back and re-watch and redo my research and start to understand what was going on with me. So what I figured out once I watched those videos was, okay, I need to go see a hormone specialist. I feel it in my gut. My hormones are off. So I found a hormone specialist that my girlfriend recommended that she was seeing for different reasons. She asked me questions and pretty much told me she probably thinks I have a hormonal imbalance by pretty much of what I was sharing with her. So she's like, let's get your blood work done, which was so exciting to hear because not one person asked me to get my blood work done. And I was pumped that she wanted to do that, which if I were you guys, I would make someone get my blood work done. Like I would tell them I want my blood work done. That is something that I would have done before, or wish I would have done before. I had to wait 2 months to get the results, which was such a bummer. This woman was very, very busy. Again, focus on a doctor that has more time for you, I think would be more valuable. This woman was an OBGYN. She was she was doing a million things plus a hormone specialist. So she didn't really have a lot of time for me. I had a lot of questions and I felt like it took her a really long time to get back. Again, it's so fine. I just would rather have found someone that had more of that time. I also was doing my own research and just had some questions. So when she called me and said, hey girl, I got your test results back and wow, your hormones are very imbalanced. And what she pretty much read for me is my testosterone was very high and I was producing very low progesterone. Now, I'm not a master at understanding all the ins and outs of hormones, but I have been talking recently to a hormone specialist and she has a lot of other amazing titles. Her name is Amber. I actually got an introduction from my girlfriend Bailey. I'm going to shout her out so hard because she is exactly what I am talking about, of giving someone that one-on-one attention. I will also leave her information below so that you guys can connect with her. She does like web calls. She actually does a free 30-minute consultation, which I think is amazing as well, to even see if it is the right vibe. She can even give you information in 30 minutes that you can be like, okay, what's my next step here? She's amazing. Okay, I also wanted to mention I asked Dr. Amber a couple questions and I want to answer them to help better for you guys. I'm butchering them for sure. I pretty much just asked her like, what are hormones? And she mentioned they're fatty substances in our body that produce to allow us to function. It impacts our mood, our cycle, our mental clarity, our sex drive, impact pretty much on everything. And then I also asked her, how do you know if you have a hormonal imbalance without maybe going and getting work done? What are some things that you guys can look for? And she mentioned missed cycles, low sex drive, fatigue, digestive bloating, high state of stress. There was a lot more, but those were like really big ones she mentioned. She said my hormones were off and so we needed to get me on something right away. We started going into supplements, which was like natural supplements of that I will share below as well. And then she also was telling me I needed to get on something called spirulactone, or she would like me to. She wasn't like, you need to. She was like, do you want to? And I was like, tell me more. And she was like, you should. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Pretty much spirulactone was a blocker for my testosterone. So since I was producing so much testosterone, it was going to block my testosterone from overproducing. You guys, here's another part of my journey that I've kind of mentioned in a past vlog. When I took the spirulactone, this woman did not know anything about my body. She didn't know about my fitness life, that I am a fitness trainer and that I work out a lot, that I'm super clean and healthy. She didn't know my back history of how my body works. And so I went on this spirulactone. And you guys, it literally sucked the life out of me. Like, that's the only way I can explain it. I lost so much weight. It was literally taking away all of my fluids. This was my fault because I didn't do enough research on the pill. It was a diuretic. I should have known right off the bat this wouldn't suit well with my body. Just my body doesn't do good with any fluids or water pills trying to take it away. It just I'm nothing by then. So in 7 days, I was like, I'm gonna faint. Like, this isn't good for me. So I pretty much had to get off of it, which was another very defeating moment for me because, again, you look at that, like that pill as like the saving grace of like everything. So I got off of that. And then I also had that moment of realizing this doctor didn't have enough time for me, because even when I was going through the spirulactone moment, she couldn't get back to me until like a week later. And I was like, okay, I really need someone who has more time for me. So I found my naturopath that I have now, and she's absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I can't pass on her information, but again, I am going to link Amber below, who I have spoken to and who is actually insanely amazing. When I went to my doctor that I am with now, she actually redid my blood work, because even the blood work that I took before, she said it's very important that you take your blood work in a certain time of your cycle. So these are a lot of the questions that I mean. Not like you should know that before, I didn't know that, but it's nice to know. So we retook my blood work and I got to see that things were still very off balance. So hormonal imbalance, that is the answer to why I had a lot of acne. Okay, I kind of want to go into the things that I tried that did not work for me. You guys have probably seen this list on plenty of people's, because we try everything. Again, this was just for me because it was a bigger root cause. You kind of have to tell what kind of acne you have. Are you having little bumps? Are you having really big cystic acne? Again, my second round of acne was deep and cystic. It was not little bumps. So really be familiar and look at what kind of acne you have, and that should help you try the things that you need to try. But here is everything that I did try. Here we go. I got a silk pillowcase, changed it quite often. I cleaned my makeup brushes weekly. I tried a lot of different makeup products. I went on Accutane. I tried tons of topicals. I read acne Bibles. So that was like a book full of acne that people have created from like dermatologists that are called like acne Bibles. I made my shampoo and conditioner not touch my face while also going on a all natural shampoo and conditioner. I've tried different teas. I've tried different supplements. I've tried double cleansing. I've tried not cleansing, or like once a day cleansing. I tried food allergy. I've tried, oh, this one was fun. I've tried different diets. I tried, if you guys were along for this journey, I actually took this video down just because there was a lot going on during that time. But I tried an all fruit diet. So I literally only ate fruit for 2 weeks. And that was a doctor's recommendation. Super cool to try, but definitely wasn't the cure to my skin. I went vegan, I've done plant-based, I've taken out red meats. I've really done, looking at this list, kind of everything. Also to you guys with acne, I would look up people that connect to you. I wouldn't go to like Jessica, who she has like a, I don't know, like one zit, and she's like, this wash cleared it. Because it's just like, you're probably not on the same page if you're like, I'm covered in acne and I'm gonna try that wash she recommended, you know? So like, be super clear of who you're researching, of like, okay, say this person is promoting this brand, which they probably love, but are they going through something similar than you, rather than like someone who, you know, is looking flawless and they're like, oh, I have this cleared my one zit, you know, like that was me. I would like be like, she cleared a zit, I'm buying. Like, not the case. Okay, so things that did help my skin besides figuring out that I had the hormonal imbalance. One of them is celery juice. Celery juice has this hype, but I think the hype is real. I almost like have this feeling of like breath of fresh air for my skin. I just felt like I was detoxing so much, and the more I detoxed, I just saw that my skin was having less active breakouts. Another thing that I would do that I worked on with my life coach, I guess that's what you call him, Jason, that I've talked about on here, is he did a visualization for me. And so I would literally, in the morning, instead of meditating, I would sit there and I would visualize my skin, and I would visualize like all of the dots being gone and vanished, and like almost like just sending so much love to my skin and seeing myself, and like almost seeing myself like as me, not like seeing it out there, like being me and just like seeing it all vanish. And I feel like that has such a big impact on my mental health, because you would be so surprised of how much our skin is also affected by our minds, in the sense of like, we're not making it any easier. We're like, it's terrible, it's worse, it's so red. And I just think it's getting more and more inflamed when we're being like mean to ourselves. So that visualization is really big for me. Another thing that has also cured my acne is getting frequent facials. So you guys have seen, I shared my whole journey with Sonia Dakar. I have gone and seen her multiple times, because she definitely I've had girlfriends actually, like my girl Helena, and she was the one that introduced me to her and was like, you should go see her. So while I was figuring out I was having a hormonal imbalance, I also was getting facials consistently, which I think sped up the process a lot. Another big thing is not touching my face. When I had acne, I mean, I would sit like this, I would sit like this. Any way I could like cover up to talk to people was the way that I did it, or like my hair, like I would like wear it in front. Like any way that I could cover up my skin I was, but that meant I was literally using my dirty hands to then be on my face, which was so not great for the dirt getting in there. And also do not pick at your face. That is also so hard. I have olive complexion, and so I scar insanely easily. And so all of the scarring that I'm trying to get away with now, get rid of now, is because I was a picker. I would pick at it. I just hated them so much, I just would like try to literally demolish it. So if you cannot touch your face as much as possible, I know that's tough. Another really big thing that I saw pretty dramatically was not having gluten in my diet. It can spike your insulin levels. So if it is a hormonal imbalance, that's just not gonna help at all. And when I like say this, like I'm strict. Like before, when it was no dairy, it was like I still would have the ice cream at least once or twice a week. I still would have gluten. But now I'm like, you guys, I'm strict, just because this is just so important to me that it's just not worth it. And if you do stick with it, like for some time, you will see that it makes a difference. Like right away when I have dairy, it's like the thing is already prepping to come onto my face. You guys will be so surprised. I think one of you guys helped me too. Like I didn't know soy sauce had gluten in it. So I now have to get a gluten-free soy sauce. Like you really do need to check the ingredients. So many times you don't know that milk or dairy or gluten is in a lot of different products. So annoying as it is really important. And it also will give you the full effect of seeing if it makes a difference if you are on top of your ingredient list. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys a couple of supplements that I am taking. Please, 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 please talk to someone though, because I think something that is really important is I have taken supplements in the past that someone like said that worked for them, but it didn't mean that it worked for me because my test levels were different. I always call people Jessica, but like Megan, she maybe had this. And if I'm taking a pill or like a supplement and my levels are actually good there, and then I end up actually increasing something, or it's just, you gotta figure out your blood work, what's up with you. It's your body, you guys. These are just like natural supplements that I'm taking. First is vitamin D. And then I am taking, again, these were all recommended from my hormone specialist to help my progesterone and testosterone level out. I'm also taking a probiotic. You can really get whatever brand. This is actually a probiotic, and a prebiotic is something I think everyone should have in their girl routine. I am not a doctor, but like learning about the gut and like bacteria and killing bacteria, but then we also need healthy bacteria. Having a probiotic, I mean, this one by My Girl Wellness is amazing, but it literally says gut goals on it. Like it literally is gut goals. So balances your belly. I like that. Anyway, you guys, probiotic, amazing. Then I have zinc and DIM, which I feel like you hear a lot about with hormones. And also too, my doctor guides me, and sometimes I will up a dose because always around my period is still very irregular. I sometimes have been having my period twice a month. I have been having it once a month. It is like so off the wall. And I think that has a lot to do with birth control. I guess I'll touch on birth control real quick. I have been on birth control since I was 15. I got on it because I had really, really heavy, bad cramping periods. So I was on the same birth control until I was in my 20s. And then I started to change it up because I was just not feeling myself. This just cracks me up though. I'm opening the bottle. Instead of maybe being like, hey, let's figure out if there's another issue, it was like, let's just give you another type of birth control. So these are the things that I'm just learning for myself. Like there's a root cause here that was just being like covered up for so long. I decided to get an IUD. The IUD was not for me as well. Let's just say your girl fainted in the office while trying to put it in. It was just so painful. And then when I had it, it just wasn't working for me. So I got it removed pretty shortly after. And I tried things that had no hormones in it. It just wasn't working for me. So then I talked to someone about how can I not be on birth control, and this is like me giving sex ed now, which is just weird, but they were just saying, if you are active, there's an app called Flow, and it allows you to see like, if you're really good on it, you track your cycles, you can see when you're ovulating. So I just stay pretty consistent to that, you guys. TMI, whatever, we are all friends here. And this is like real stuff. Like I'm just saying, yeah, like it can be a scary thing to get off birth control if you are sexually active, and I get it, and that's why I'm not recommending it to anyone. But I will say I've been off of it now for, I want to say almost 6 months, and I'm feeling just amazing being in my own body without anything else going inside of it. So, and I did ask Amber, the hormone specialist, I asked her about birth control, and she did say that a lot of the times the birth controls can mask the root cause and even sometimes cause a bigger issue. So just talk to your doctor about it, see what feels right. And then lastly, I take progesterone, which is prescribed to me. It's just because my progesterone is so low that I need to have some progesterone. People like use creams, whatever. I just have this form. And then lastly, I use magnesium. This is just like anything. This is just helping with stress and calming down your body. Stress is a huge cause of acne and inflammation. And that's why a self-care routine is just, do we even need to go there? How important a self-care routine is. Oh my gosh. Self-care, you guys. These are products that have pretty much stayed consistent for me. The only thing is I don't use the Acne Zero anymore because that was when it was just really bad. But yeah, and the only thing missing in here is the Blemish Buster, which was a huge product that I used when I had acne all over. But Sony has like online where you can look at what products are right for you for your skin type. So I would look into that. I'll link it all below. These are another product that I'm absolutely in love with. Whenever you have like a whitehead, it works best when it's already there. And then you put this on, and then in the morning, it'll pop it for you so you don't pick at it. So these are ideal for any whiteheads. Okay, next let's talk makeup. I actually don't have a lot of like you should use this makeup, because makeup was never a cause for me with my acne. Like I never started using something and then stopped it and saw my skin get better. So I never thought makeup was the issue. I try my best to use really clean and beauty products, but that's not always the case. I'm just being super real here. But this one is one of them, and this is my holy grail. I had a lot of people tell me quite often that they didn't think I had really a lot of acne, like they can't even believe this is part of my story when I show pictures. And I swear, I think it's the foundation. Like I think it's the foundation, because this is not even sponsored. It's just, I don't know what is up with it. My girlfriend sent it to me when I was trying to figure out which one to use to cover up for my skin. And I still use it to this day for scarring because it's just really good. I think the biggest thing I love about it, I'll show you guys first. I've shared it before. It's the Illuminaire, and it's the Concealing Mineral Foundation, semi-matte. You don't need a lot of products. You don't look like you're caked on. Like it's so nice, it's not cakey. But you guys, at the end of the day, when you have bumps all over your face, this is only gonna cover the redness and the scarring. It's not gonna cover the bumps. Like I don't have a dream miracle for that. And if you do, holler at your girl. I would put translucent powder, like sit it on the dot and like let it sit there the whole time I was doing my makeup. And that was like the biggest thing I saw, like it subtly go down a little bit, but at the end of the day, you guys, you walk outside and it was there. So, and then another thing that I did use, I know this is a really thick concealer, but it did help when I didn't have this, or when I had really big red ones and I needed help, I would use the Shape Tape concealer from Tarte. That's just like a really thick coverage. Lastly, a book that I am reading that I find really interesting, if you guys wanted to dive into like the secrets of different herbs and things that can help heal your body in all different ways, is The Ancient Remedies by Dr. Josh Axe. He has a section in here on acne. It's like very small, but I started drinking, I think it's basil tea is the one he recommended. There's just like a lot of nice at-home remedies that he shares in here, and that's definitely what I'm trying to aim for. So I really find this book super helpful. Okay, you guys, there's a couple of things I just want to leave you here on. I hope that this has helped you at all, but here are some tips that I truly tried to practice, and I would recommend anyone if they are starting out in this journey. Number one is to be kind to yourself. And I really, really mean that. For me, I was really hard on myself. I was really hard on my face. I was really hard about my beauty, and I wish that I was kinder to myself, because I feel like my skin would have gotten better a little bit faster. I don't think I was helping the situation. I was just stressing about it, and I felt my skin, like, truly, when I would think about it and stress about it, I could feel like the heat coming off of my skin. Like, it was pretty trippy. So I just think, be kind to yourself. Have a self-care practice, you guys. When you feel that stress, when you feel that skin, or when you feel like that stress coming up about your skin, have a self-care practice. Be with nature, have some walks, have a bath, have a journaling routine, and it's okay to cry about it, and it's okay to have emotions about it. And my second thing with that is also to lean on a support system. I think when I stopped trying to hide it so much, and I was more vocal with the people close to me of, I'm struggling with my skin, I'm gonna show up with no makeup on, and they're not gonna be like, whoa, it's almost like they knew what was going on. It felt 100 times better. So I think having that support system, being very real about your skin, and you'd be so surprised how many answers you will also get, because so many people are going to relate, or also just be like, oh, I'm not even looking at that. And you kind of just feel better. You're not trying to, again, like, hide it when you're talking and your hands are on your face. So having that support system, JT was a huge, huge support system, and he still is. When I bring up my skin, he always goes, he's always looking at me like, I don't understand why you think it's like a big deal. Like, it's almost to him, he doesn't see the skin, which I think is just the beautiful part about people. We see it, but they don't see it. Just have an awesome support system, and share that you were on this journey with them. Something recently I just shared on my story the other day was that I keep a diary. I have not the best, or I'm working on my memory. Sometimes I feel like I just can't remember things, and it's actually so important to remember things, to be able to see your progress, to be able to see what's working with your body, what's not. So I've been trying to keep a diary through Monday through Friday. I'm really bad on the weekends, but at night before I go to bed, I will just write what supplements I took. Did I take all of my supplements? Did I have a lot of stress? Did I start my period? What foods did I eat? Da 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 da. It just helps me see everything that was in my day. And then if I'm like, oh, whoa, I woke up with 4 new zits, I'm like, okay, let's look back at what I ate or what I used. Did I try something new? Oh, I felt really nauseous when I woke up. Did that supplement make you feel a certain way? So having a diary is really, really important. And with that, taking photos. I don't think I took enough photos because I was just so upset with my skin, like I mentioned before, that I wish I did take more photos of my journey so I can look back now. Yeah. Take photos, but just keep them to yourself. Okay, last but not least, I want to leave you guys with this. My girl Becca Tilley shared this a while back, and I probably reread it quite often, and I think it'll sit well with you guys as well. It says, I had a moment the other day that really changed my perspective on how I view my physical appearance. I was thinking no one has ever impacted me by being beautiful or having a perfect body. It might get my initial attention or even be inspiring, but it's never been the reason I remembered them. I'm impacted by people for their kindness, their loyalty, their patience, their generosity, their vulnerability, etc. I've never said she changed my life because she was pretty and skinny. We spend so much time worrying about the thing that means the least to people. I feel like I'm just feeling a lot with that statement, because my heart goes out to everyone who's in a situation where right now I'm looking at you guys and it's easier said than done to do all of these things, and I can feel the heartache that I went through and still continuously can go through now, but I just feel like more than ever, you guys, our bodies are trying to talk to us, and the more we listen, the better we feel. which will come out through our skin, which will come out through our body, which will come out through our heart. So yeah. All right, my loves, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel so grateful for this community because the only way that I could come on here is if I felt like it was a safe place, and I really feel that with you guys. And I hope this has helped anyone in any small way, even if you don't have acne issues, but some way you took something from this video. I really do hope. So be kind to yourself. I love you guys, and make sure you like and subscribe as always because it helps my channel. And I'm so excited for so many new things coming up and about, so make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you guys next time.